All right, well, thank you very much for the opportunity to be here with you today. I have been in Washington, D.C. since right after Labor Day. So I got home late Thursday night. I've not seen my husband in 3 weeks, so I look forward to spending some time with him while I'm here. But I thank you all for the work that you are doing. You have been very persistent and unwavering in your desire to have peace on the Korean Peninsula and ultimately one day reunification. This is an important issue for many reasons, and I often say to folks, one of the reasons is that important is that a lot of Americans, even some younger Korean Americans, do not know a Korea that was one nation. They only think of North Korea and South Korea. And I tell folks that there is a very rich history that Korean Americans have, and Koreans, in the entire diaspora. And as we talk about peace on the peninsula, I was talking outside to a reporter and I said, there's something that is very tragic happening right now around the world, and if we're ever going to have peace on the peninsula, this has to be addressed. And this is the fact that North Korea is now providing weapons to terrorists, Hamas, Hezbollah, and Houthis. And that makes it incredibly difficult for a lot of folks who are United States politicians and Congress and beyond to feel comfortable about talking about peace. So there are conflicts around the world. We hope they get resolved. Russia's illegal invasion of Ukraine, what is going on in Israel and Gaza, and even the potential for China to cross the strait and attack Taiwan. We have to maintain a very strong posture of deterrence, especially in Taiwan, because of this proximity in the Indo-Pacific and how Korea is involved. My good friend, General Xavier Brunson, who was in charge of First Corps at Joint Base Lewis McChord, had a Senate confirmation hearing, and he will be serving in Korea. So I'm very thrilled that someone I have known here for 4 years at Joint Base Lewis McChord is now going to be managing U.S. forces in Korea. And this is incredibly important for many reasons. But I was asked earlier, why is peace on the peninsula important to me? Number one, because I was born in Korea. And I know that that conflict has been present for a very long time. Number two, if there were an opportunity to have peace on the peninsula and reunify, Korea as one nation could be incredibly powerful. You know right now when we talk about Korea's influence on the United States, its biggest export is popular culture. It's music, it's K-dramas, it's film, technology leadership, education leadership, so much. And it's almost hard to believe that in such a short period of time, that South Korea was burned to the ground and has risen up the way it has. I have met with a lot of veterans who actually fought in the Korean War. And when they see videos and photographs and images of what Korea is like today, they cry because they were there to help defend democracy and freedom. And this is incredibly important. So as we look at the threats around the world to democracy, we know that South Korea is a beacon. And how do we ensure that we are reuniting families who were separated, that we're doing everything we can to provide economic prosperity for all people on the peninsula, and one day, hopefully, we can find peace and have unification. This will not be easy, but we're Korean. Nothing ever comes easy for us. So through our spirit, through our tenacity, making sure that this issue remains important. There are 47 sponsors now on the bill that Casey Choi has worked so hard to try and get signatures for. We will need a lot more than that. But again, persistence, patience, keep doing the work, keep telling the story. So I will end with this. It is always my honor to represent the 10th Congressional District of Washington State. But I also know, as one of the first Korean American women to ever serve in Congress, my responsibility goes far beyond my district. I am often a voice for many people across the country in different communities. That's why it was important for me to wear hanbok when I was sworn in. That's why it's important for me to honor the memory of my mother. And it's important for me to make sure that when I'm serving in Congress, you fully understand and you have a champion in Marilyn Sunja Kim Strickland. So thank you very much for letting me do this today, and thank you for all of you. And just one more thing I want to say. We have about 45 days until the elections here in the United States. So I presume that everybody here is going to vote.
Yup.
That you're going to tell everybody in your family to vote. And all your friends. And here is one characteristic that I share with Vice President Kamala Harris. We are the only two women in Washington, D.C. who are half black and half Asian. And I think that there is some power in that.
Yeah.
I come from people who were enslaved, who built this country, who fought for it, and were disrespected. I come from people who came here to this country not knowing the language, not knowing the culture, having to eat different food, but persevered anyway and became successful. This is what I'm made of. This is what Kamala Harris is made of. So as we think about what I have in common with the Vice President, it is so easy for me to support her. Not just because of her identity, because she is the most qualified person to take the mantle from Joe Biden. So I just had to say that. It would be irresponsible of me not to. Please vote. Please vote Harris. Please vote Strickland. Please vote for Derek Tran in California. All right, thank you.